Hey everybody, Christy here, Glory here.
Hey.
Of course there's no one on yet, but that's okay. Okay, so do we have a banner? A banner for people. If you want the workbook, there's the workbook. All right. So we're going to be doing a celebration party today. And I have lots of stuff to share. Okay, so I need to hit refresh on mine even. Oh, it showed up. It said live. Cool. Cool. Okay. So now I have that going. Okay, so we are here. I'm looking in the comments. I see John is here. Good afternoon. Let's see. If you are a Facebook user, thanks so much. Let's get you to click the link. I think there's a link. It's a StreamYard link. That does show up in the descriptions, correct, Glory? I think it's facebook.com/StreamYard will let me see your comments. It should be in the description of this video that we're doing right now. So you should hopefully be able to see that. That way I can see who you are. Okay. So I'm actually at my sister's house. It's 2.5 hours away. She had a birthday party for her little 5-year-old son. And I even have, I ate my cupcake already, but we have M&Ms, Smarties from a pinata. And yeah, so we are going to see how many others show up. And we're gonna, let's see, I have like a gazillion things I'm trying to do all at once. And I have my whole setup. So we've got like crazy stuff going on. I see my comments down here and all kinds of things. So, and we've got Glory with us. So,
woo-hoo. Hey guys.
How's it going, Glory?
Good. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, so where's everyone joining us from today?
Yes, please type your, well, we already see your name if you click the link on StreamYard, but let us know where you're watching the live from. Hi guys, I've seen so many hellos. Welcome. So glad you guys are here. So yeah, type where you're watching the live from so we can get to
I'm from North Carolina.
Awesome. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I'm watching from New Jersey. Awesome. Nebraska, PA, awesome.
Pennsylvania.
Yes. Florida, cool. Alberta, wow. Near Chicago, wow. We got a lot of people from all over.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool. So I'm curious. How many people here watched the masterclass last night? If you watched the masterclass last night, type MC in the comments. If you are here the first time and you did not watch the masterclass, just type today for like, I'm here today, but I wasn't last night. And if you are doing both, just type both in the comments. That way we can see that as well. So I'm just curious to see how many were last night versus today versus both, that kind of a thing. So Kathy was here last night. John was last night. Awesome. Karen from Ontario.
Wow.
We got two Canadians then. So Diane, meet Karen. Karen, meet Diane. Kathy, both. Well, I guess if you watched it last night and then you're on today, that's automatically both. Hello, Christy. Karen and Ursula today. Lois today. Awesome.
Oh, I do remember Diane's name from last night's masterclass. Cool. All right. So Christy put out a post about some cupcakes today that I just saw. Apparently we're bringing cupcakes to this thing. In the comments I see pumpkin chocolate chip, red velvet with white chocolate cream cheese frosting. That sounds amazing. apple caramel, chocolate with chocolate ganache icing, zucchini double chocolate. Wow, interesting. Right? Gluten-free chocolate. All right. So yeah, type what cupcakes you're bringing today. Just type in your favorite flavor of cupcake.
Yeah. Or if you,
I know mine's red velvet.
Heard one that she said, and that's not the one you're bringing. Like, which one are you going to eat if somebody else, or like, oh wait, never mind, that sounds better.
Right.
My sister made cupcakes. There were like lavender and orange and red and blue icing, and then she made a gluten-free cake, and it was 3 layers. But I kid you not, the cake was this thin. 3 layers, and it was this thin. It was crazy. Wow. It was like the layers were like this, like each layer was the size of my finger. Actually, I think it was smaller than that. That's pretty funny.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Now I'm hungry.
I know, right?
Oh, right. John.
So you guys don't want any cupcakes today, huh?
Right. I'm not seeing any cupcake flavors.
That's okay. Let's see. What else did we want to chat about before I started the party? Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is what I do want to know, because we are going to give away one person who shows up live today to win the course, Plot Like a Novelist, for free. So one person will win that today. But I do need to know, like, who here completed the challenge and came up with your 5 main plot points. So if you completed the challenge, just type in the chat, done, or I did it, or something like that. Just type I did it. And I know most of you here pretty much did do it. So I just want to, like, hold yourself accountable to say, yes, I did it. So I'm going to create, while y'all are typing that, and if you see any more cupcakes come in, Glory, you can talk about that. I'm going to create a little banner.
Yeah, I see one from Kathy. Chocolate zucchini cupcakes are the only way to eat your veggies. I have to agree. I have to agree. Awesome. All right, I see done. Cool. Yay, awesome. All right.
Okay, so I got my little note up there. Stay on to the end to see who wins the course.
Yep. Okay, and so we were also curious to know the title of the book you're working on. It could be a memoir, whatever genre it is. If you don't have a working title, just say unfinished or to be determined.
Or you can share the name of your character, your main character, if you don't have a working title.
So we're curious to know your working title and the name of your main character if you don't have a working title. Okay, Diane. All right, that's cool. Awesome. Okay, yeah, so let us know your working title. Dream Shifter. Wow, that sounds really interesting. I would read that. All right. Looking excited to read more titles and character names. Lovelorn Fools. Would that be pronounced Faith or like Faithy? But that sounds so interesting. Snow Angel, adult thriller with title TBD. MC is Lily. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Snow Angel, MC is Leslie. Awesome. The Paper Lantern, Miko. Wow, these are pretty cool. Untitled, just referring time it as the Lincoln Leisure Home Story. Wow. Neil is the main character. Awesome. The Ring of Protection. Whoa. Faith. I'm guessing that's your character name. That's so cool. Lincoln Leisure Home Story. That sounds really interesting. All right. So, Christy, is there anything else we wanted to
yes, I think there was. Oh, I did. Like, here's a great question. I want you to think of one word that describes your experience with the challenge this week. You can't say challenging. Sorry.
No.
So, the nature of it, like, it's automatically, it's a little bit challenging. So type in one word in the chat about the one word that you feel like it described your experience with the challenge this week.
Well, I would say mine was fun because I just got to sit back and read everyone else's challenges. I didn't have to go through like coming up with all the challenges every day. So kudos to you guys, by the way. I'm so impressed. I'm so glad you guys were engaged and doing all the challenges. I see awesome. I see enlightening. Cool. Karen says no cupcakes, just hot chocolate. That's funny. I love hot chocolate. Calming. Interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that word, but that's pretty cool. Calming. We love that. All right, let's see some more words. Solidifying. That's what we're going for. So we're glad that happened for you, Lois. Awesome.
I have. Okay, so what was the last thing you were gonna say, Glory?
Oh, I think we've gone through all the for the questions, so I was gonna introduce you really quick,
okay, cool.
And then we could get into the presentation for today.
And celebration, so we got a little bit of that going on too.
Yep, we have a few celebrations coming up, so stay tuned. All right, so you guys have met Christy, right? In the comments throughout this week, she gave you some feedback, and she helped you with your ideas. But I just wanted to give a little official introduction of Christy, maybe with some things you might not have known about her. So Christy Wright Wild has been writing poetry, plays, and short stories ever since she can remember. As early as the 6th grade, she wrote and produced a play and also won a poetry contest. She has since had several poems published in different anthologies throughout her writing career. She's now being represented by her second literary agent, Stacey Graham. She mostly writes children's picture books and middle grade novels, but she also has a couple of women's fiction novels in the works. She's a founder of the Plot Like A Novelist course, which we'll hear more about today, the Run With Your Writing membership, and the Writers Who Run retreat. So, Christy, are you ready? You ready to get started?
I think so. All right. Okay, Glory. So I will see you at the end when we do a Q&A.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you do have questions, just feel free to put them in the chat. I will be able to see comments, throughout, and Glory will actually collect questions and field them to me at the end. Okay, so feel free at any time if you have a clarifying question or you want to ask something, about what I'm teaching or anything else, then just type those in, and Glory will get them for you.
All right, awesome. All right, see you guys after. Enjoy.
Bye. Okay. So I am now going to share my screen, and we're going to do the celebration first, kind of get you guys hyped up. And this is kind of the screen that you've been used to seeing. Oh my. Grant access to this application secure. See, I've been doing this on my desktop all week long. Grant access. I hope this works. We'll find out in a second. Looks like it's going to work for me. Awesome. Okay. In a minute, maybe. Oh my goodness. Well, Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. What? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let me click this. Share screen. Let me try it again. Okay, apparently we're experiencing technical difficulties. System preferences, security, and privacy. Maybe I'll bring Glory back on and she can chat with you. Sing them a song. I don't know. I got to get this figured out. I don't know why it'll take me just a quick second.
Wait, what's going on? Maybe I can help.
My computer is not allowing me to share my screen, so I have to go to my system preferences right quick.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, Nicole says technology, ain't it great? Yep, we love technology. Okay, so I want to hear from you guys. What would you say is your next step after the challenge is done and You know, we've gone through the encore tonight. I want to know what's your next step with the work that you're in, like the thing you're working on. You know, your manuscript, things like that. Oh, Karen says, can you introduce me? Okay, I can tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Nigeria. I'm 21 years old. I'm a college student, a senior in college. I currently live in New Jersey. And if you want to know anything else, let me know in the comments. But that's all I got for right now. But yeah, so let me know what your next steps are. Hi, Susan. Glad you're here. Doing NaNoWriMo is the next step. All right. Wow, that sounds exciting. I know a lot of you guys, those are your plans as well. So I wish you all the luck with that. And I hope the challenge has helped you with NaNoWriMo. Second draft rewrites. Wow. All right. Awesome. You got your work cut out for you. Oh, I hope that goes well for you. All right. Anyone else want to share their next steps after this challenge is over? Nano. All right. Okay. Character interviews. Huh. Interesting. What are you working on? That you need like the character interviews. Editing my manuscript. Cool. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Check the box.
Christy, you all right? Making progress?
It says click on screen recording, but that's not even showing as an option. I'm looking in security and privacy. I swear we tested this. Like privacy is here, but it's not telling me what I want to. Like it's not showing me what I. Finally, okay. Maybe I was just freaking out. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the comments. Karen says, take a short story to my writing group. Cool, cool. I hope they give you some really great feedback. Lois says, I'm currently taking classes at Community College of Philadelphia. I plan to finish them, then write a fleshed out outline for Dream Shifter, and then write the first draft. Wow, wow. I wish you so much luck with that. Oh, Christy stepped out. Okay, Dan plans to work on NaNoWriMo. Hi, Pam. Glad you're here. And someone says to flesh out my characters before starting Nano. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, those sound like a great those sound like a great plan. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for Christy to get back on. Hopefully everything's going all right. But yeah, if you guys want to know anything else about me while we wait for Christy to figure her tech out, feel free to let me know. Yeah. Cool, cool.
Whew, okay. Oh, crazy.
Oh, hi, Diane. I'm not a writer. I love reading books. Reading books is like my happy place, but no, I'm not a writer. I'm Christy's virtual assistant, so I help her behind the scenes. Yeah.
Now I have to get this. I had to shut down Chrome just to like restart it back up. That's why I disappeared for a minute.
Oh.
And now I have to just open my thing back up. So thank you guys for your patience and bearing with me. Give me just a minute to scroll back down to where I was. We'll try it again. Promise. There's good stuff coming, y'all. I promise. Yes. Especially if you missed last night or you haven't watched the replay yet. If you're really wanting that course for free, well, no, not for that. But only one winner. Who is the lucky winner?
Okay,
computers are slow.
I'm gonna go back to the comments. I see we got some new ones. What is Nano? Yes, it is the National Novel Writing Month, as Ursula answered. It is every November. It's a creative writing project that a lot of writers participate in. What's my major? My major is international relations, but I also major in languages and have a minor in economics. Diane says, I started writing my morning pages again. Ooh, nice. I think this will clear my head to focus on putting the 5 plot steps in my novel. Awesome, awesome. I love morning pages. Wow, I hope that goes really well for you. So yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to type them in. Yeah.
Now I'm waiting on one final thing. I hit the button. So
We love tech.
too many times. We're almost there, y'all. If this doesn't work, I do have if it doesn't work exactly how I'm thinking, then we have other options, I think. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're making progress here. That's good. Yes, yes. All right. And close that. Okay. Share screen. Make sure this works. Make sure. Here we go. Click share. Okay. Sorry, I am hiding you. Okie doke. There we are. Woo! Okay, sorry about that, y'all. So, welcome to day 6, celebration and recap. All right, so here are some celebrations that I did do a lot of screen shares all throughout the week, screen captures, and collected some stuff. So Shauna says, y'all are gonna love this. Let me see some heart emojis or some fire emojis if you have loved this week. You were commenting on each other's things. Brooks had said, I want to read this book too. And Shauna says, seriously. And Kathy says, the plot thickens. And Mary said, what a comparison. Thank you. So they're just kind of random. You don't really see what they're exactly related to. But this was like when the week was just getting started, right? Give me those fire and heart emojis. Thanks, Kathy. Ursula says, this was a great question for me to answer. I never thought about starting at the end, but it makes so much sense now that I had to think it through. Thanks. So Delaney says, thank you. This will make my second time a different project for the challenge. So yeah, let me know how many, this is my third time doing this challenge. Type a 1, 2, or 3 for which one you have been on. I know John, this is going to be a 3 for him. Others of you, it's probably a lot of you, it's going to be a 1, your first time to this challenge. Some of you, it's going to be a 2, like Delaney was a 2. Give me a 1, 2, or 3 for which challenge that you have been in. And then Diane says, you are doing a fantastic job of making me think. Thank you. Yes, that's the whole point. Like I warned you guys on the Saturday post with the vulnerability that I'm going to make you think. So that is part of what a challenge is all about. Okay. Sarah says, agreed. It's what sets in motion the barrel towards the final showdown finish line. Writing it out really helps. Yeah, so if you write it out, a lot of first timers here, awesome to this challenge. Writing it out does help. John said, and he's already a previous student, and this is his third time in the challenge. He says, are you reading my mind? And I was like, haha, I am. Andy says, this exercise is really helping me tighten up the timeline and make some choices, because you do have to make some choices. You're going to have to change things up sometimes. And sometimes it's something you've never thought about and you're like, oh, but I didn't want to do it that way. But if I say it's going to be a much stronger story to do it that way, trust me, it will be. Stephanie says, this is just like the plot whisper, but with running terms. Awesome. I'm like, thank you. Tammy says, I'm enjoying this challenge. Could you give us a deeper challenge within the challenge? Like you often ask us follow-up questions. So the VIP was kind of like a deeper challenge. Some of you are in the VIP experience, and also basically the Plot Like a Novelist course, which I'm going to tell you about later. That's basically like a deeper challenge within the challenge. Not really within it. It comes after the challenge, but you get what I mean. Kathy says, you are great at boiling it down. So you guys are like writing these nice little paragraphs, which gives me context about your story. So I kind of get a better understanding of what it is and where your characters are headed and that kind of thing. And then I can just like, yeah, thanks, Kathy. Cause I do like, I'll dive in, I'll see that snippet. I'm like, yep, that's it right there. So I'm glad that was able to help you out. Tammy says, I think this process helped me clarify some loose ends, some loose ideas, and work through some issues with my original plot points. It gives me a framework for my outline. So yes, it is definitely going to give you a framework for your outline, because the 5 main plot points, that's just basically the beginning, you know. Natalie says a lot of the time, she's talking about her character here, a lot of the time my main character is reacting to what Neri, another character, is doing rather than taking action. I'm going to revisit that. Thanks. So I'm glad that you are able to, you know, take that internal, you know, and say, yes, I need to revisit this and think about this some more. So yes. Linda says, thank you, Christy, for critiquing my work. You've really helped me reorder things. So as I've been typing and chatting with everybody all throughout the week, hopefully that a lot of people have reordered some things, if necessary, right? You don't reorder just to reorder. Pam says, thanks. Can't wait to get more details in it and write it. Also, thanks for this free webinars. It's really helped me. So glad you like that, Pam. And glad that you are super excited to get busy writing and to come up with more details to fill out the rest of your outline, because the 5 main plot points is not a full outline. Okay, so this brings me to, I just wanted to highlight and give another high five to the folks who won throughout the week, the daily prizes. So on day 1, I gave away Brainstorm Like a Boss. That is a worksheet in my course, and Pam Barricklow won that. Awesome. I see you're on here today. And you guys can give each other high fives as I'm, you know, re-announcing the people. Think Like a Therapist was the worksheet I gave away on day 2. Helps your character, helps you to have ways to show doubt in your characters. And that is something that your character needs to experience, maybe not throughout the novel, but there's definitely a specific place in your book where that shows up. And so this is what will help specifically with that, but you can also use it elsewhere in the novel. And so Rex Arnold won that. So yay, Rex. Rex also purchased the course last night. So congratulations there. The Marathon Method plot diagram. So that was what I gave away on Wednesday. And that is the diagram of all 11 stages of what comes before and after the 5 main plot points. So Christine Jordan won that. Awesome. Congratulations. And then on Thursday, we gave away the plotting cheat sheet. One of my, well, I like them all, honestly, but I really like this one because when I'm thinking of a new idea right now for a middle grade fantasy. And so this is like really helping me dial in because like I know all the things, but when you see it in one spot, it's just helpful. And this plotting cheat sheet is specifically for the 5 main plot points. So we want to help you get those dialed in the course as well. So yay, Diane Hannington, you won that one. Awesome. And on Friday, which was yesterday, I gave away the plot arc summary of Harry Potter, and that was all 11 stages, not just 5 plot points, but many, many, many different scenes that happen to like, and it's really a good tool to kind of check that out. So congratulations, Vicky McCash Brennan, who won that yesterday. She also purchased the course last night, so congratulations there. And then today's winner, which I will choose at the very end, the prize, again, is the free access to the Plot Like a Novelist course. So that's what's coming down the pipe there. And then here are some of your aha moments. I shared a post this morning for you guys to share some of your aha moments, and some of you are kind of sharing a little bit here. Hi, Andy. Glad to see you on. Yes, better late than never. I had some technical difficulties, so you didn't miss too much. We were just chatting a lot, so... all right, so these are some takeaways that people shared in the group just this morning, and I started it off. Even though I'm the one teaching you guys this, I still learn new things about writing all the time. And so I kind of discovered a 5th type of sign up. And that is that your main character being forced into a situation against their will. It may not fall under one of the other 4 categories or types of a sign up, right? And so that was my big takeaway, was that there's actually a 5th, you know, that sometimes, yeah, so that works. I like that a lot. Natalie said the difference between the sign up and the gunshot was a point of clarity that she really needed. And I can see where, especially teaching it backwards, it's easy to get those 2 confused and mixed up. But once you learn it once and you get it, then it's a lot easier to understand, especially relating to those running analogies. Vicky said that I really need clarity on my finish line. So she's going to be meditating on that this week. Allie said, I've realized that I have a series of vignettes rather than enough of a through line for a book-length work. And that's okay, because vignettes can turn into a book as well. It might not be a novel, but it's a beginning. And so just keep working on it, get more vignettes, and you might see some common threads and be able to connect those together. I think I had just a couple more here. Christina said that I can do this and to look at it as a long haul rather than a sprint. The outline and the writing process both are marathons. I love that, Christina. So yes, each and every one of you can absolutely do this. And yes, it is a long haul. Writing a book is not a sprint. And even the outline. So, you know, and you'll learn more about that in a minute, but the outline, like, you know, it does take some time. You do have to think through it. And when you're thinking about your story, like I'm even asking my daughter, I'm like, but why? But why? Like with my characters that's in my mind, like we've been working on this book idea for a couple of years, but it's not been my priority. And so asking yourself why to get the outline, it's like, you know. Shoshana says that I love the direction and guidance. I know I'm a pantser, but with a little framework, I can see more progress. So yay, Shoshana, because a little framework is what we're after here, so that you guys can get even more and more progress, especially right before Nano. And I think that's the last slide for this particular portion. Yep, nope. Okay, so that's for later. Hold up. And that, never mind. Let me close that actually. Okay, so that part is done. So now I need to share my screen with a different one. See if I can pull this up. And basically I'm gonna dive into this is the next part. I'm gonna recap the entire week. So if you missed any of the live streams, you definitely wanna stick around. And if you're super curious about how to connect the dots, definitely stick around. Okay, so first off, so this is gonna be crazy because again, I have been using my desktop all week long. So when I share my screen, I will still be able to see my comments. It's just going to be different. So share screen. And there we go. Cool. So now I'm not 100% sure what this looks like to you guys, but I'm going to hit play. And Glory, if you have issues, if I'm having any issues and you need to let me know something, you will just have to type it actually in the full comments, not like the private comments. So you'll have to type it in there and maybe use some fire emojis if something's up. But it seems like you guys can see it. Yeah, so okay, cool, awesome. So I can see that now. There's a lag. I forget there's a lag. So if I ask you a question, I have to remember it takes a while. But this is what you're here for tonight or today, this afternoon. Get your story straight. 5 simple steps to create a better novel outline. And yes, I know I talk fast, but again, the beginning is kind of a review. And so I don't want to like eat up your time by talking super slow and being boring. And as y'all can't tell by now, I'm super passionate about this. And so I just want to not spend more time on any one particular slide than necessary. Okay, so today, and I am adapting this slightly on the fly because this is the first time that I've done the recap thing, you know, inside the Facebook group. So that's going to be a different thing going on. But so my goal is to help you understand how to take your idea and transform it into a framework for a story that not only makes sense, but also flows really easily from one scene to the next so that you can finally finish, your novel, right? So I think we forgot to mention at the very beginning, Gloria, you can share the, let's see if, I'll make sure that I've got this. You can share the link. No, sorry. There's no link at this point. Sorry. Stay with me to the end. We'll share a link with you, especially if you weren't here last night. Then there is a cool thank you gift for staying on until the end, not just to see who wins, but you will actually get something also. So the Confident Writer Resource Bundle, and you'll see a little preview of a little preview at the very end of what that looks like. But stay till the end and we'll share a link for that for you. All right, so the best way to get present is just put this presentation in full screen mode so that you don't have other stuff going in the background. Okay, so you are in the right place if you're motivated to understand where each piece in your story should go and figuring out how to get from the beginning to the end. Because technically, the 5 main plot points, that's not even the beginning and the end, because there's stuff that happens before and there's stuff that happens after. And just in case you didn't, some of you are here today that couldn't make it last night. So just a teensy bit about me. It's just this one single slide. I do have a 4-year degree in creative writing. I taught elementary and middle school for 3 years. I won first place in a regional SCBWI contest that stands for Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. And then with my current agent, I've been with her for 3 years now, and I've run 2 marathons and 2 half marathons. So that's the 26.2 there. Okay, today, what we are covering, the 4 fundamental elements of story, the 5 parts of a well-paced plot, the difference between wants and needs, the 4 types of events that begin every novel, and 3 popular ways to know you've reached the halfway point in your novel, and 2 things you need to be a successful fiction author. And even if you write memoir, I think that applies to that as well. Okay, so with the right help, you can create a story you love with a plot structure that works every time so that you don't have to needlessly revise more than necessary. And we all understand that revisions are necessary, but when you have the right framework with the right help, then you can start it from scratch knowing that you don't have to restructure that like deep level, it just helps a ton. So again, as a reminder, if you have any questions, just go ahead and pop them in the chat and Gloria will ask them at the end for me. All right, so the 4 fundamentals of story. The first one is character. Okay, so character is basically an individual in a story experiencing personal conflicts. Basically, like, y'all know, the character is the main character. It's who the story's about. Who's telling us? So narrator and character are 2 different things, but character is who the story's about. Okay, so I would love to see in the chat your character's name. If you want to just type that in, that'd be awesome. And I know there's a lag, so I'll give it a minute. I'm going to keep going. All right, the second one is conflict. And I think a bunch of you already shared your character names, but maybe if you were late or you want to share it again or maybe share a secondary character name, you can do that as well. So, man, I didn't bring any water up here. Oh, no, I'm going to die. I have Smarties. I can suck on Smarties. My daughter is going to kill me. We have this game we play sometimes. It's called Don't Eat Pete. If y'all have Leslie, okay, cool. If y'all have ever heard the game Don't Eat Pete, I really want you to put Don't Eat Pete in the comments because it's a fun little game. Maybe I'll tell you about it later. Okay, so conflict is obstacles standing in the way of the character's goals. Because if there's no conflict, there's definitely no story. Plot's the third thing. We've been talking about that all week long, and right now we're going to continue the journey, the discussion about plot. Ooh, gourd. Leslie and gourd. Cool. Okay, so plot is the events that happen in a story with a connected cause and effect. So you have to have, like, the cause and effect is a main thing. It's not just things that happen. Plot ties the character and the conflict together. And the 4th element is theme. Theme is basically your big central idea, the underlying message, the why. It's not only why you want to write the book, but also why the characters feel the way they do and what you want your reader to walk away with, right? So that is the theme. And you might be saying, Christy, what about dialogue and setting? So dialogue is part of the character. I don't separate those because the character is the one speaking. So that's your dialogue. And then setting If I was to choose a fifth element of storytelling, it would be setting. So setting's like the second runner-up or the first runner-up or however you want to look at it. But so setting is important, but it didn't quite make it to the top 4. So the 4 fundamentals are character, conflict, plot, and theme. Next up is the marathon method of plotting. That's basically what we have been talking about all week. And this is the, I'm just basically going to share what it looks like for a race, right? So you have to register for the race or else you will never get to run in it. The second thing for a race, when the gun goes off, you cross the starting line. Then you're going to just keep running. Mile 13.1 is the halfway point. And then you must overcome the wall. So in a marathon, the wall, like we talked about the wall all week long, but the wall is where you feel like giving up physically, mentally, all of that. And number 5, you finally get to cross the finish line. So I am curious, if you guys have ever run in a race before, I'd love to see the race distances in the chat for all of you who have run in a race before. So just put 5K, 10K, marathon, half marathon, all the distances, because I like to run and I do use running analogies. Or if you're just a walker and you've never raced before, say I walk every day, whatever. Walker here. So let me know those. Okay, so again, with the marathon, you get registered, so that's the sign up. You start the race, that's the gunshot. You keep running, okay, that's the halfway point. There's going to be a lot of challenges along the way. Negative self-talk is the wall, and you finish the race. That's the finish line right there. And here is what it looks like. When you map it out, that's basically what it looks like. Okay, so I have 2 very, very, very simplistic examples. So a roller coaster, that's your sign up. You're standing in line. The gunshot is you're getting on the ride. Because once you get on the ride, you can't really, once you are locked and loaded and they start the ride, yeah, the journey has begun. The halfway point is reaching the top. And then the wall is the initial free fall because you feel like you're going to die. Like you're like, oh, And then the finish line, the ride stops. So you're over, you've enjoyed the roller coaster. Again, these are super simplistic. It wouldn't work for a whole novel unless you throw in some serious psychological elements of some sort, a lot of flashbacks. I have no idea. That would be a challenge. Okay, a road trip again. The sign up would be maybe packing your bags, the gunshot, getting on the highway, the halfway point, you pass an important landmark, the wall, you could either run out of gas or maybe even pass your exit, you got to turn around. The finish line, you arrive at your destination. Okay, so in a minute, we're going to get a little more interactive, so just get ready to share parts and bits of pieces with your story. Hello, Ophelia. Nice to meet you there. All right, so we're going to go through the 5 plot points. I am going to work backwards. So plot point number 5 is the finish line because you have to have a goal, okay? So the finish line is also known as the climax or the finale of your story. And this basically is where I'm going to bring in the needs versus wants, okay? Because all needs are based on wants. And people say, oh, you need air to breathe. You need water to drink. Those are necessities of life. Okay, well, I kind of gave away my answer there, but technically you don't really need air and water unless you want to live. So necessities of life, okay? So if you want to live, then yeah, you need air and water. But what about cowboy boots? What do we got going on there? So cowboy boots, here's a story. My son says, hey, Mom, I need some cowboy boots. I'm like, no, you don't. You have 20 pair of shoes in your closet. He's like, but wait, I want to be a cowboy for Halloween. I'm like, fine. I guess you need some cowboy boots then, right? So the external story goal, I need some cowboy boots. And that's what. So like, that's the what. The internal character goal is his want, the why. Why do you need the cowboy boots? So that's to be a cowboy for Halloween. So the story is all about the child doing extra chores to earn money for the boots in time for Halloween. So the internal character goals, you would say, I want this. So let's say I want to be a cowboy for Halloween. Therefore, I need cowboy boots. The external story goals, again, that's your need and your want, and you can rephrase it because you're going to tie the two together. Okay, so I need cowboy boots because I want to be a cowboy for Halloween. And at some point, it starts to feel like they become interchangeable, and the character might even realize, that. And so they have, in order to get the one, you have to do both. All right, so the finish line, you in the race portion, you might say this, as far as needs and wants. I didn't really want to actually run the marathon. I just wanted to get a medal so I could say I did it. So therefore, I needed to cross the starting line when the gun went off. The journey, the story, is the race itself. I need to run the race if I want the glory. And then, of course, the finish line, you cross the finish line. Okay, so we're going to have lots of spoiler alerts here and lots of examples. So buckle your seatbelt. So Wonder Woman, the Amazon princess, we did talk about that in the challenge this week. And I talked about my story, Gleek. I'm not going to be talking about Gleek today on here, but Wonder Woman we will repeat because there might be a couple of details that I left out during the week. But it is based on the movie Wonder Woman, the Amazon princess. And this is actually the ending, okay? So Diana continues fighting until the war ends. So that's the spoiler alert. The war actually ends. She's able to do that. All right, so your needs versus your wants. The external story goal is the what. She needs to end the war. The internal character goal is the why. Why does she feel that she needs to end the war? Because she wants to defeat Ares. And she believes that defeating Ares is going to help her. She believes that ending the war is going to help her defeat Ares, okay? Okay, so Star Wars. The sign up for Star Wars is the external story goal. The need is to destroy the Death Star. The Hunger Games. Katniss's goal is to survive the Hunger Games and return to District 12 to be with her sister Prim. Far and Away. This is a movie from, 20 years ago or longer. Joseph's goal is to one day own some land for himself. So simple goal. When the reader, if the goal needs to be the external story goal, the external plot goal is going to be something that the character can say, oh, did they get it or not? That's the external story goal, the plot, okay? So tell me your external goal. You can just type it in there. I'd love to see some of you guys. I think I have people, like I'm streaming this on my Facebook page, in the Facebook group, and on YouTube. So if I have some people in the group and some people on so I can only see comments from some people. So that's kind of strange. Interesting. But yeah, if you get a chance, go ahead and type that in. I know there's also a lag in the video, but I do want to see that you're at least able to come up with your first idea of what your external story goal is going to be. So basically your finish line. What's your finish line plot point? What does your character want / need by the end of the book? And I'm not talking about the internal character stuff, but like plot-wise. How's your reader going to know that the story ended? Did they actually cross a finish line? Did they win something? Did they save the guy? Did they stop the bomber? Those kinds of things. Okay. The plot point number 4 is the wall. So this is also known as the Act 2 climax, the major assault, the abyss, rock bottom, dark night of the soul, or the big change. Characteristics of this plot point is considering your character feels like giving up. They feel alone or abandoned. They often are physically at a low, like very near to the ground, especially in movies. And so with Wonder Woman, it's the deepest, darkest moment, the abyss. Diana's wall is when Steve hijacks the bomber with the poison and sacrifices himself to save everyone else. So because they had fallen in love and she didn't want him to die, she's heartbroken that he did that, but it was kind of necessary. And so That's the low point for Wonder Woman. That's the thing that happened, that where she hit her wall and she's actually lying on the ground. Okay, in the movie Moana, Maui leaves and Moana tells the ocean to choose someone else. So she's on a raft and she feels like giving up. She doesn't want to follow through on the journey that she has taken on. Even in the life of Jesus, his lowest point was when he was praying, like on his knees in the Garden of Gethsemane. And that's like a pictorial view of the 5 main plot points there, from birth to death kind of thing. Because, you know, he was definitely alone, felt abandoned because, you know, even his disciples couldn't, you know, stay awake long enough to keep him company or whatever. In the movie My Girl Part 2, Veda finds out that she might actually have a different dad, and she feels betrayed. So tell me, like, go ahead and type in the comments. It seems like this celebration that we're having right now, because I can't see every single person's comment, perhaps, but I do want you to type that in so that you can take action yourself of what your main character's lowest point is. What happens that causes your main character to feel that low? The thing that happens, that's your wall. Plot point number 3 is the halfway point. This is also known as, oh, I'm sorry, my nose is itching today. Mid-act climax, moment of grace, the enlightenment, or the commitment to the journey. So there are 3 popular ways that you can identify your halfway point. And there are actually 6 more, which you would get inside the Plot Like a Novelist course. But for today, falling in love. So if you are writing a romance, it's pretty much guaranteed. I wouldn't say 100%, but more often than not, falling in love is going to be your halfway point if you're writing a romance. Okay, so Karen says she is trapped in the storm and can't see her way home. I think, yeah. I know what your story's about, that, like, just that little snippet. So, I mean, if trapped in the storm and can't see her way home. So that could be, but I think that would actually come before the halfway point. The halfway point would be more about making some progress. Like, you're reaching that 13.1 half marathon mark. So I would say that would like something where they find some way to shelter, or they find something to dig snow, or they find a landmark that says, oh wait, we're here, or, you know, I don't know, all the different things that happen during the storm, you know, like if their sleds broke, or, you know, whatever, you know, if they got separated from each other. But yeah, so another popular way is escaping from danger. So that might be for you. Maybe they escape from danger. Maybe there's a wolf, or, you know, maybe there's a tree that fell and they just barely get free from that. So that could be the halfway point as they're making their way home in the middle of the storm. Arriving at an important location. So that's another one. Trying to think of an example off the top of my head. It's not coming to me right now, but that is one. Oh, and then I have examples. So Wonder Woman. Yeah, Wonder Woman actually is an example of reaching an important location. So this is where Diana fights alone as she crosses no man's land and captures the enemy trench. She shares a kiss with Steve. So the kiss part, that is like the romantic element, that is a subplot, because Wonder Woman is not a romance, okay? Because she doesn't get the guy in the end. Like, romances are supposed to be happily ever after. Like, if you don't have a happily ever after in a romance, it's technically not in the romance genre. It can be a love story. It can definitely be a love story, but it wouldn't be in the romance genre. Anyway, reaching that no man's land, they finally capture that enemy trench. That's definitely reaching an important location, because that signifies that they're, like, making progress. So Shrek and Fiona begin to fall in love. You know, the scene with the spiderweb cotton candy and the frog balloon. So they realize they're starting to have feelings for each other. So Shrek is technically a romance comedy. Jurassic Park. Alan and the kids escape from danger. So there's an example from that one. When they're in the tree and a car is dangling right above them, so they, like, get out before the car falls on them. so it doesn't actually fall on them. Back to the Future. George, Marty's dad, rescues Lorraine at the dance from the danger of Biff making inappropriate advances. So, of course, Back to the Future, Marty is the kid. So George and Lorraine are his parents. They are falling in love at the dance. They share a kiss. So you've got like the halfway point there, like in the backstory, like, you know, they're going back in time. But also the antagonist, Biff, is making inappropriate advances towards Lorraine. And Marty steps in, George steps in and rescues her from that. All right, so tell me your halfway point. Oh, Leslie's Wall. Okay, Karen. Sorry about that. Yeah, I get them all confused up, but so that's good. So I'll try to check the chat here in a sec too, but go ahead and type in. Oh, you already did that. Like, okay, Oh, that was the wall. Now we're at the halfway point. Okay. Trapped in the storm and can't see her way home. That does make sense for the wall. I was getting ahead of myself. The halfway point I already talked about for that, but you guys can go ahead and type that in, share with each other, give each other likes, thumbs up, comment on each other's, and like let each other know like if you think that it sounds good. Of course, it's easier like for me when I see all 5 of them together. Okay, so plot point number 2 is the gunshot. This is also known as the end of the beginning, the point of no return, committing to the goal, turning point 1, the awakening, and the threshold. So some people get the gunshot and the sign up confused, but that probably because of all these different terminologies. That's why I'm using the race terms, because it's so much easier when you know how a race works, you know, how I've explained it, then that's all you got to think about. It's just, it's the gunshot, right? Yeah, the gunshot, see? So characteristics of this plot point is that the main character agrees to cross the starting line. So sometimes it will be physical and sometimes it will be a mental thing. And the physical, it's usually they leave to like go somewhere. It could be in the leaving, could be it. Because maybe the leaving part is more exciting or important or whatever. Or it could be in the arriving to the new place. Either way, you don't have to show that whole journey in between. Just so long as you either show the leaving, that they're headed somewhere, or show that they are arriving somewhere. Either way in how you tell it. Okay, so with Wonder Woman, Diana embarks on her own journey to help end the war when she leaves her island home to set sail on the boat with the American spy soldier, Steve Trevor. So they're at this point, she actually gets on a boat and sets out to go help end the war. Okay. Leslie's Wall. So Leslie's your character. Sorry, Karen. I'll get on board eventually. Leslie is rescued by a tree fairy. So being rescued by a tree fairy could be the halfway point. But I would have to see everything all together. So, and I think maybe. Okay. All right, so Bourne identity. Jason Bourne asks the girl he saw at the embassy to drive him to Paris and he'll pay her $10,000. So if you were watching last night and you're still watching today, kudos, high five to you. Whoop, whoop. Because look, I edited this and I made it more accurate. So when he asks that, he's like, okay, well, I'm definitely on board now. Look, I'm willing to pay someone $10,000. I need to get to Paris. Like, will you please take me there? Right? So he is on board. He's all in. The Lion King. After Mufasa dies, Scar makes little Simba believe that he killed his own father in the wildebeest stampede, and Simba runs away. So Simba is leaving the life he knew, has no idea where he's going. The only thing he knows is that he just wants to get away, and he's gonna have to figure out life. That's it. I mean, and he does, and like there's the whole plotline and stuff, but that's the gunshot moment there. Holes. So Stanley Yelnats goes to Camp Green Lake, a juvenile correctional facility, for stealing a pair of shoes, which he didn't actually steal the shoes. but he got sent there anyway, or he had the option to either go there or some other place. And he's like, well, I'll take camp. So he goes, he does his thing. So tell me the gunshot of your story. Tell me what your character does to signify the beginning of their actual journey. All right, next up, we have plot point number 1, the sign up. The sign up is definitely known as the inciting incident. I think that's probably these three, like, people use these all the time. And, you know, inciting incident, catalyst, or call to action. But in my world, I'm calling it the sign up. And the example I like to give is if you're, I don't know if, okay. The example I like to give is if your boss signs you up for a 5K and you don't even run, and he's like, yeah, it's the annual 5K, you know, the charity 5K. And you're like, So it happened, you had no choice in the matter, and he announced it, and so you're like, fine, whatever. That's the sign up, okay? Because now you're like, you have to make a decision. So there's 4 common signups, and I mentioned earlier a 5th one. So I'll just quickly run through. So we have the something arrives in the main character's life, or there's an announcement, a discovery, you discover something new, and an invitation. So I'm going to share some examples, okay? And the 5th one was, let's say you're suddenly in charge of caring for your elderly grandmother, or your mother, whatever, and you had not planned on doing that, and there's nobody else to do that. That would be the sign up, because it turned your life upside down, right? So that's the 5th one, is basically being forced to do something against your will that you really didn't want to do. Maybe even like told you're going to camp, like, look, you have to go to camp. But that one's not really by necessity, so we'll see. Okay, Wonder Woman. If the German warplane had never crashed into the ocean through the force field surrounding the Amazon warriors, Diana would never have known about the war, and she would not have left her island home. Without this plot point, the story would never have started. Okay, so that is the main thing for the sign up. If the boss didn't sign you up for that 5K, you are not running in it. That plot point has to happen, or there's not going to be a story. Toy Story. Andy receives a new toy for his birthday. So he already had Woody, and now he has Buzz Lightyear, the new toy. Well, and since the toys are all, you know, alive in the story, and if you, Andy, yeah, if Woody's the main character, right, not the boy, Andy, but Buzz Lightyear is the arrival into Woody's life. Bridge to Terabithia, same thing. It's an arrival one. A new girl. Anytime there's a new girl, right? Buzz Lightyear's the new guy. So she moves to town right next to Jess Aarons, and she beats him in the boys' races at recess. Harry Potter. This is one of my favorites. 1 week before Harry's 11th birthday, he receives a letter from Hogwarts. He continues to receive hundreds of letters until he finally gets to open and read it. So the arrival is the letters, and then inside the letter, it's an announcement which says, hey, you've been accepted to Hogwarts. And then it's an invitation that says, hey, you coming or not? So, of course, Hagrid shows up, which is how he finally gets to read the letter. But Hagrid wouldn't have showed up unless he started getting the letters and he couldn't open them. So the letters is definitely the sign up. So tell me the sign up of your story. Go ahead and take a moment, type that in the chat. Again, like each other's, comment on each other's, let each other know how you're going there. All right, so you've already seen this once before in this presentation, but if you'll notice, the 5 main plot points are really small blips along the way. If you think about them each as a single scene, no novel is ever just 5 scenes. So a novel is going to be 40 scenes, 50 scenes, 80 scenes, 120 scenes. I mean, a gazillion scenes. Like, you know, a 40-chapter book might have 40 scenes. It might have 120 scenes. It just depends. It just depends on your scenes and your chapters and your book and the genre and all that kind of thing. But there's a lot of things that have to happen, you know, before the sign up, in between, after the finish line. And that's what we're going to talk about, is the clarity of how you can do that, because having these 5 plot points, again, that's just the beginning. It's not enough to actually have a plot outline. That's just 5 scenes. That's it. You know, granted, they're super important. They are the 5 main plot points. So let me ask you a question. Do you see how important it is to identify the 5 plot points? Because once you, hi, Angela Turner, nice seeing you here. Once you have the 5 major plot points, then you can start filling in the blanks. That's why it's so important. So if you agree that you understand and feel like, yes, that's important, then just type yes in the chat for me. All right, so you, now we're going into the next thing, is 2 things to be you need 2 things to be successful as a fiction author. Okay, 1, you need to be able to write well. 2, you need to be able to tell a good story. So here's a survey. Which one is more important, the writing or the story? Just type that in the chat. It's a survey. If you think the writing is more important, type writing. If you think the story is more important, type story. Okay? Awesome. So again, I know there's like a huge lag in the presentation as far as me seeing your comments. So there was, yes, okay. I was like, wait, what question did I ask? Okay, so Karen, yes, awesome. I'm glad you see that. Okay, so the survey, writing or story, which one's more important? So some people can write well and other people are great storytellers, but you do have to be both to get published, okay? You do have to see, you do have to have both to get published. And Yvette says story. And Yvette, you would be correct. So my goal is to help you tell a great story, because that's actually more important than being able to write well. And here is why. This is the matrix that I think I mentioned earlier. So the matrix is, if you have a very poorly written story and weak writing, that is pretty much guaranteed rejection. On the flip side, if you have a stellar story with awesome writing, you're pretty much guaranteed acceptance. Not necessarily right away. It could still take you several years. You just have to find the right house and the right editor in order to get that acceptance. Now, if you have a poorly written story, even though your writing is super awesome, you're going to tend to get more rejections because editors are looking for a great story. So if you flip that and do it the opposite and say you have a stellar story, even though your writing may be a little weak, not super weak, but a little weak, they might ask you to submit it, you know, go ahead, send me the first 3 chapters or whatever it is they're asking for, and or revise and resubmit, that kind of thing. So story is more important because it will get you further. And it's easier to fix weak writing than it is to fix a broken story. Okay, so here's a quick recap. The 4 fundamentals of story, we talked about that. We talked about the marathon method of plotting, wants versus needs. I shared 3 popular halfway points, the 4 main ways most stories begin, and a bonus 5th way, and the 2 things you need to be a successful author. You need to be able to write well, and you need to be able to tell a good story. And I talked about a whole lot of other stuff in between, plus a bunch of examples. So tell me, are you ready to connect the dots? I hope so. Say yes, yes, yes if you want to know what that looks like. Again, my goal is to help you tell a great story. And I am confused. All of a sudden, okay. I have like notes everywhere. I have you guys, I have stuff. Okay. So my goal is definitely to help you tell a great story, because that is the thing that, you know, we need help with because of plotting. Plot, hello. So I'm not 100% sure why you're here today, even because I know you're super busy, but I do know you want to fill in the gaps and understand that. So let's dive in. I mean, you might even feel uncertain about wanting to write a novel, you know, because like you've been scared to take that leap. Maybe you feel stuck and your novel is not progressing and you're not sure of how to move the plot forward. And, you know, this helps with that as well. Maybe you feel tired of completing a manuscript just to be told that you have no story. I mean, a lot of us are just trying to finish our first manuscript. I know that. But if you've written like a bunch of manuscripts and everybody keeps saying no story, it's flat, blah, 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 you know, maybe you don't have that theme ironed out, or maybe you don't have the plot, like the story, because theme is part of the story. So you have to have all 4 of those elements. And definitely maybe you're here because you just want more and you want to see how all the pieces work together. So let's dive in. Basically, all writers have 2 paths. So path number 1 is you don't create a plot outline for your novel. And then you're in the same place this time next year with like chapters of meandering events, no real story structure. There's not a cause and effect with your plot. Or path number 2, you commit 100% to outlining a plot for your novel in the next few weeks and using a proven roadmap that will help you finally finish or revise your first draft. So if you are really ready to connect all the dots and write your novel, you know, I would like to personally invite you to join me in my Plot Like a Novelist course. It's really the only writing program of its kind. We use running analogies to show you exactly how to write a concise novel outline. You'll go from having a story idea to having a concrete plot outline that will guide you through the writing process so that you can finally finish or revise your manuscript. And this is basically what you get and what you will accomplish. So what you get out of the program is that by the end of the 5 weeks, you will have created a character with a clear goal. You will have nailed down, so it doesn't matter if you already have nailed down or not, you will have nailed down the 5 main plot points to build a framework for the rest of your novel. You will have built out the beginning, the middle, and the end of your story. You will have included several points of conflict for ups and downs in your novel, and you will create a writing schedule that fits your life. Okay, these are the things that are included that help you, like all the things teaching, like how to connect everything. So there's the marathon method plot diagram. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute and show you what that looks like and all the parts, the connecting segments, I like to call them, the full 11-stage plan. The plot point cheat sheet, which again, that's the 5 main plot points, and a cheat sheet, like super, super helpful there. The brainstorm like a boss worksheet, the think like a therapist worksheet, and all 9 halfway point plot examples. I talk about the endorphin enigma and how that helps you reach the finish line. The mirror effect, there's a 1 and a 2, and what that looks like and how the different plot points play off of each other. The heroic act. There's also a pitch template. It's basically your 1-sentence pitch, 30-second pitch, elevator pitch, whatever you want to call it. That will help you when someone says, oh, you're writing a story? What's your book about? You can quickly answer that question and not flounder around. Run with your writing schedule. So we talked about that and how by the end of the course, you will be able to set up a schedule for yourself that I know a lot of you are getting ready for NaNoWriMo. That's like 1,666 words a day just to write 50,000 words. And if you're writing a novel for an adult, 50,000 words is not typically enough to have a complete novel. That would be a novella. But if you're writing a middle grade, then that would be enough words for, my daughter wants her M&Ms now. Also, there's access to group coaching calls. So that is part of it, and we'll go into that here in a minute. So here's the 5 modules. It's pretty simple. Module 1 is the prologue. talk about understanding the 4 fundamentals of story. I know we just briefly touched on that today. Module 2 is the beginning, so we'll talk about the plot points that are in the beginning and what that needs to look like and how to establish your beginning. Module 3 is the middle, so we'll master the middle. We'll talk about the different things that you need to do for that. Module 4 is the end, running to the end, right? Crossing the finish line and what happens afterwards. Module 5 is the epilogue. I don't teach that you actually need to write prologues and epilogues. I was just being cutesy and clever. But that's preparing a doable writing schedule for your life. So the course is valued at $9.97. And there are some bonuses, okay? So the complete plan, I'm calling it plan, short for Plot Like a Novelist, the complete plan training program with lifetime access, so all future updates. I'm in the middle of updating it right now, so you would get access to that. Again, that's valued at $9.97. Then all 5 training modules, which I just mentioned, from idea all the way to completion. So you get all 5 of those. You get videos, worksheets, PDF guides, lots of examples, lots and lots of examples. So I shared basically 3 examples for each plot point today. That's 15 different stories, but I only shared like 1 story for this one and 1 story for this one today. In the course, you will get all 15 stories. 2 or 3 of them might be a little different. All 15 for the 5 main plot points so that you can really see how that works. So there's lots of examples. There's examples for all the filling in the blank parts. There's 4 major things I do there. And so the first bonus, okay, it's the Writer Inspiration Kit. It's valued at $2.97. It's a printable, and basically you would print it on cardstock or something like that, some sturdy paper, and a little bit of color, so it's not like super a whole lot of ink. But there's lots and lots of pages, not just these little 6 quotes here. There's multiple pages. I think there's several dozen, and you cut them out and put them all over your wall, your mirror, your desk, your computer, your fridge, your bathroom mirror, your everywhere, even in your car. And that will help you keep inspiration and motivation throughout, especially while you're actually writing a manuscript. That's going to help you keep wanting to come back to it and say, yes, you can do this. Because, like, look, if I can do it, so can you. I mean, I'm not super extra special. I don't have, like, you know, people in my back pocket telling me how to do things. But I do have a proven roadmap that I follow every single time I get a new idea for a novel. So you can definitely do this. And that first bonus, the, what did I call it? The Writer Inspiration Kit will help you continue to believe that, yes, I can do this, okay? Then the second bonus, again, you get the full plan training program, the Writer Inspiration Kit, and bonus number 2 is a private members-only Facebook group for community and accountability. Okay, because we all need that community and accountability. Yes, inside this Facebook group right here, the Writers Who Run, we have community and accountability. But this is deeper. This is super special. Like, you're all on a specific journey together, and you want to be able to ask questions about what you're learning and how you're applying it to your stories. So that community is valued at $4.97. Technically, I could put priceless on there, really. But that's the second bonus. Also, I want to mention that I do have a guarantee. It's called the 14-Day Run With Your Writing Challenge. So after 14 days, if you don't feel like you're well on your way to outlining your story while feeling so much more confident about your plot, then simply email us for a refund. And you can see the details on the page. There's some more details about that. So there is a third bonus. So again, you get the full complete training program with lifetime edits and updates, the Writer Inspiration Kit, the bonus number 2, the Facebook group, and bonus number 3. Like, honestly, it is the best one of all. Okay, I'm serious. This one is all about group coaching. Well, that is what it is. It's 6 weeks of group coaching to workshop your stories. So it's a 5-week course. It starts next Thursday. And so you get the 5 weeks, it'll be the beginning Thursday of the first week, and then at the very end. So it's 5 weeks, but basically the 6th week is like our celebration week. So we will do some final group coaching that week as well. And that's valued at $5.97. So 6 weeks of group coaching. It's basically what I did, the VIP experience. It's group coaching. It's live on Zoom. It's recorded that you have access to, that you can re-listen to my feedback and advice to your story. You can listen to everyone else's and learn from theirs as well. So that's, I used to have that as a fast action bonus, but now it's included in the course. So you do get 6 weeks of that for all students who purchase. So basically you'll see here that this whole entire thing, the Plot Like a Novelist training program and all 3 bonuses, the inspiration kit, the Facebook group, the group coaching calls, it's valued at $23.88. Now you're probably saying, okay, Christy, just tell me what it costs already. Like, duh, like, come on, let's get it on with. And, you know, I probably could charge $1,000. A lot of people have told me, you need to be charging way more than you are. But I'm like, no, I can't do that to my writers. Like, I want it to be affordable. Like, if it was $1,000, I wouldn't buy it. But apparently some people would, because they think that that's what I should charge. So I basically cut it into third, because I do want it to be affordable for you. And so that's what it is, right? And if you're ready to get started and join me to help you get your story outlined just in time for NaNoWriMo. And again, you have lifetime access. So even if you're not doing NaNoWriMo, you can still, you know, use this. It's perfect. So get started today. There's 2 payments. There's 2 different options you can do. So you can choose 2 payments of $188 or the single payment of $297. And to enroll, just go to bit.ly/plot like a novelist. So we've been doing that all week long. It's the Plot Like a Novelist 5-day challenge. And so bit.ly/plot like a novelist will take you straight to the page where you can go ahead and sign up. Oh yeah, there's a fast action bonus. So the fast action bonus is good through tonight at midnight Eastern time. So that would be 9 p.m. Pacific. So this fast action bonus is something that will help you as you continue to work on your novel, as you continue to, after you plot it out, then as you write it and you're like, okay, all right, what's next? What's next? This is what's next. So the 3-step submission system for writers, you get the Query Like a Pro, which also includes the pitch. And then you get the Write a Sizzling Synopsis, so a 1 to 2 page synopsis. That's what editors and agents want to see. And then Market with a Promo Plan. That's basically a book proposal. It's the exact same format that I use with my agent when she sends out my book proposals to editors. And I share that with you as an example. Like, you get to see an example of one of mine. So that's the fast action bonus. It's available up until tonight again, okay? So you can get started with 2 payments of $188 or the single pay of $297 and save a little money that way. Again, just go to bit.ly/plot like a novelist. And then here's a quick review of the details. So when you click that link, bit.ly/novelist, a plot like a novelist, it'll take you to the page. It looks just like this. And you can scroll down and read all the things. I highly recommend you do at least click the link and take a look at it. Like, pretend you're in a bookstore and you're not gonna buy a book unless you pick it up and read the back. Like, you wanna know what you're either missing out on or, you know, or gonna like read, like spend the next long time to read, you know? So you scroll down, you find the payment options, and you can just choose there which one works best for you. And then just to kind of go through some of these with you, that's the payment page. You just fill in the details, very secure. That's the login page. So once you're all set up, you can just click that. It's pretty easy. I don't think you even, like, it's super fast and easy. So your email, you get logged in. Then there's a little welcome video. So that's where you'll get started. And there's some goals there. And again, I'm in the middle of updating this right now. So it's kind of bare bones, but it's going to be ready for you next week with module 1. So you'll be able to get started on Thursday. There's also the members area. So this is just all your trainings. I'm going to like add some pretty pictures in there. And that's part of module 1 right here is prologue. So there's the overview, there's a little video there, and then the 4 fundamentals of story, like I mentioned, that comes with it. And there's some other things that, you know, won't fit on the screen clearly. So yeah, you can get started today for just $188 or you can go ahead and pay the one payment of $297, and there's the link. So really quickly, I just wanted to share, I think like there's some things that I think you might be thinking. Like even John in the course, he's like, are you reading my mind? So some of you might be thinking that I'm reading your mind right now. What if you are thinking, I don't know if I have a good enough idea for a novel? Someone mentioned something about a bunch of vignettes. Well, you can turn vignettes into a novel. So it might be a good enough idea. I mean, that doesn't mean there's not work ahead. Like writing a novel is a lot of work. But Sylvia, okay, so she was thinking about writing a novel. She began with a nugget of an idea. After she took the course, she created a title. She had characters that were fully fleshed out. She had direction for her plot and subplots. So she was good to go there. You might also be thinking, I'm overwhelmed. There just isn't enough time. Well, remember that you also get the scheduling thing. So that will help you. John, right? He's been in the challenge all week. He's a previous student. He went through the course. He took his time. You get lifetime access. You can take your time. You don't have to do the whole thing in 5 weeks unless you want to. Like if you're doing nano, I highly recommend it because it's going to help and it won't overlap. It won't be overpowering. It won't take away from your nano experience because you'll finish all 5 weeks like mid-November and you can start writing the first half of November. You can work on the stuff that you've already done, the plot outline that you've already kind of done. And it'll be like, the timing is perfect. Okay. So he actually, he took his time, like I said, and one of the NaNoWriMo years, he finally completed his first draft of his memoir, all because he had that plan to follow. What you might also be thinking, well, I'm not a runner. Is this even going to work for me? Like, I don't run, And well, Sharon, she's not a runner either. And yes, it worked for her also, okay? She sold 4 nonfiction books for children, but she struggled with plotting, okay? And she's taken other classes, but she's like, oh, I can't handle formulaic systems. So clearly she does not think that my system is formulaic. I mean, yes, there are things. There's like the 5 main plot points. There's the whole thing that I'm fixing to share. Remember the full 11 stages, and I'm going to share that with you. But she was able to solve a plot hole that other people were trying to help her, and she just still couldn't figure it out. And after working with me, she was able to. She's submitting her manuscript to editors right now, so that's awesome. You also might be thinking that writing a novel scares you. You might be saying, look, I'm not sure I can do it. It's just too hard, right? Here it is. It's not too hard. I'm going to hold your hand the whole way, right? You've seen something similar to this in the Facebook group, maybe. You might have seen it. But this labels the segments that come before and after each plot point. So I'm going to take just a quick second to give you a really fast overview of what that is. And I'm going to use running a marathon as the example, like I've been doing all week long, okay? So the pre-race life is your life before running a race was ever on your radar. Maybe it's, your 5K that the boss signed you up for. You're not a runner. Or maybe you like to, maybe you're not really a runner. Maybe you kind of just walk, but you're like, I think I want to run a race, So pre-race life is before all that ever happens, okay? The sign up, we know that. You get registered for the race. Second thoughts, you're like, did I really sign up for this thing? Am I going to follow through? What's going to happen to me? Can I do this? Will I finish in time? A gazillion things are going to run through your mind. The gunshot, you're at the race, you're standing at the starting line, the gun goes off, you start running. Pit stops, that's your challenges. That's your conflict. You stub your toe. Maybe you fall. Maybe it starts raining. Maybe you run out of water. Maybe you get lost. Hello, done that. Then the halfway point, you make your way back. You're at the 13.1 mile, like, okay, I'm halfway through. And as soon as you pass the halfway point, now you can start saying, I'm more than halfway through. You continue to experience challenges along the way. I mean, it is a race. And then the runner's high. So I'm calling that segment the runner's high because you do reach a point where the endorphins kick in, and then you hit the wall. And so we know the wall is where you feel like giving up. And then the final sprint. So the final sprint is like, maybe you pull that little note out of your fanny pack. That's what I did. And you read the motivation and the positive things, and you're like, okay, maybe I can do this after all. Like the balloon man passed me. I'm freaking out, like I wasn't gonna make it in time, and people are like, here, have some pretzels, here, have some Gatorade, And then the finish line, you cross the finish line, and then the after party. So the after party, you get your medal, you get some water, you find your friends and family, you get some food, you sit down, you eat, you drink, you stretch, you listen to music. That's the after party. So I will hold your hand. It's not that hard, but you do need the roadmap to get there because there are lots of different nuances that go along with this. And I share lots of examples. So it becomes much easier after you learn it with me and do it one time. Then you can repeat the process every single time you get a new novel idea, just like me. You might even be asking yourself or saying, well, I've already written a novel. I don't need this. Well, guess what? Karen, she wrote a novel. She's working on the sequel. It's not published, but she's written a novel, right? So, but here's what she did. She validated the plot for her first novel, and she solidified the plot for her sequel. And now she's using, like, she has a novel synopsis. She got the bonus, and so she's using that. She's pitching her manuscripts to editors and agents right now. Okay, so we are at the end. Again, go to bit.ly/plot like a novelist, and you can sign up. You can sign up and get the course and come with it through us. This is the October cohort, just in time for Nano. And now I'm going to stop sharing my screen here in a second. This is the Confident Writer Resource Bundle. So if you are still here live watching this, we are going to share the link in the comments, and you can get this Confident Writer Resource Bundle. This is your stay-on bonus. So we're going to go in a Q&A. So if you have any questions, hope you've been typing them in. Lori will ask them to me. We can also share some popular Q&A questions. And I'm going to hit escape. And now stop sharing. Okay. Bring Lori back on. And hello.
Hey, guys.
I think I can share. I was going to put on a timer. See if I can figure that out. Share screen. Okay, we want a particular tab. It is. Aha. Now, if there are more questions than we can fit in, I will continue. But, I do want to stay on as long as possible. Let's see. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. So that's my horrible looking, because that's the best way I could do it. I couldn't, unless, theater mode. Maybe that'll make it look.
Yeah.
Aha! That's prettier. Yay! Okay. So I am, okay, so Alnita, I do see, that's the only question I see right now.
Well, we had one before hers from Diane.
Okay.
She asked, approximately how many hours do I need to complete this course each week and finish it in the 5 weeks?
It just depends on how far you are right now with your story, and it depends on like how well you internalize it. I say it's roughly 1 to 2 hours a week. It's not that much. Like, I don't have like 20 videos for each module. It's not that crazy. And they're pretty short, like 20 minutes, roughly. Some of them are 12 minutes, some are 25. So I would say if you show up for the group coaching, that is Thursday evenings. The time is slightly flexible, but right now it's set for 7 p.m. Eastern time. If we need to move that to 8 p.m. to accommodate for our West Coast peeps, I will gladly accommodate and change that up. So again, that's flexible. We'll take inventory after we see all the people who sign up. The deadline is actually next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So again, but today you get that extra fast action bonus. But so the 5 weeks, Diane, you have basically, if you show up for the 1 hour, you can get group coaching for your story and spend a little time going through the modules, watching the content, and doing the work. The work is basically brainstorming, writing down your ideas, answering the questions. There's not a gazillion worksheets. I promise there's not. But the work is in the thinking. So you can be thinking while you're at work, while you're running, while you're cooking dinner, while you're showering, even in your sleep, right? And your subconscious brain will do most of the work for you. But you do need to write down, jot down the ideas that come to you, bring them to the group coaching sessions, and we will work that through. So yeah, 1 to 2 hours a week, that's not that much. So it's not like a 10 hours a week or you're going to fall behind. And no, it's low key. It's pretty simple and it's fun because you're working on your story.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna post the stay on bonus now for you guys. And as Christy said before, that's a thank you gift for staying until the end, even through our technical difficulties. So we have another question from Alnita, and she asked, when will this be offered again?
Right. So I only do the challenge once a year. I did do the challenge this past March, but I was still kind of gearing up and all that kind of stuff. But this point forward, I only do the challenge once a year. I don't necessarily have it set in stone of when those dates will be for next year. But I do occasionally offer a singular webinar. So if you come wind across that, you might be able to get in at that point in time. But I don't have a date set for that either. So if you are even thinking about it, I highly encourage you to at least check out the page. Again, it's only $188 today, and then the next payment will be a month from now, and then you would get that second $188 and you would be done. Or you can save just a little money and do the one-time payment for $297 and get in now while you don't have to wait until later because, you know, you're excited, you want to do your story. Let's get it done. Let's get it done together.
Yeah. All right. Oh, what'd you say?
Oh, nothing.
Oh. All right. So we have another question from Andy. Is the course live? And if so, what time?
Okay. So good question, Andy. I kind of touched on this, but I'll definitely repeat it for sure. So the course is not taught live. Those will be videos inside the platform, which you will get the login info, and you log in, you see the videos, and you can watch them. And you can, like, if I know I talk fast, but if you're like me and you want to listen even faster, like you can even fast speed it up even more if you're really short on time. So it's not taught live. I will go over a few highlights and remind you to watch the stuff in the course. A lot of times, every Thursday night, we'll meet live. That'll be our group coaching where I will coach you through your 5 main plot points. And then each person will get a turn. So let's just pretend, let's say there's 20 people and we go in the group chat, everyone will be muted. And whoever's turn, like whoever raises their hand or whoever wants to go first, will spend anywhere from 10, 15, 20 minutes. I have been known to even go 30 or 40 minutes with one person before, but that's just because I needed to ask more questions, or maybe their story was so complex, or maybe they just didn't have a lot of the stuff worked out, you know, whatever it is. So we'll spend a good 15, 20 minutes per person each time. And by the end of the 6 weeks, you know, we should hopefully get through with most everybody. And so that part is live. The group coaching is live. But again, they will be recorded. So if you have your advice and it's your turn and you want to, like, oh, I forgot what she said, I took notes, but you know, you want to watch it again, you can. Okay, so you can go back in the little course platform and you can rewatch that. And you can also watch what everyone else. So you miss a night, you're like, well, I've already done mine, I'm not coming tonight. Well, that'll be sad. We'll miss you. But it will be recorded, and you can come back in and watch those recordings and learn from everyone else. Because the more you hear it, the more you see, the more examples, the more it sinks in, the easier it gets. and that's the live portion. Did I answer the question, Andy?
Yeah. Oh. I think you did. I think you went above.
7 p.m. Thursdays. But again, that's flexible. Like I can change it to 8 p.m. if that's better for people on the West Coast. Like if they work up until 5 and maybe they'll just stay late at work so that they can get in and then they'll go home. Or maybe they could leave 15 minutes early if they work really close. Or maybe they can just show up to the live stream a little bit late, but they could still have a turn if it's, they haven't gone yet. So, okay. So that part's flexible. All right. What else you got for me, Glory?
We have a question from Angela, who joined a little late. She says she mainly writes picture books, but she has an idea for a middle grade novel. Does it matter that it's for younger readers in relation to the course?
No, it doesn't matter at all. So it's not just like adult, right? A novel is a novel is a novel is a novel. Even chapter books, which technically aren't novels, but to a kid, it kind of feels like a novel. Chapter books are basically shorter novels with pictures. And that's what they graduate to read, chapter books. Chapter books are actually kind of hard to break into because you have to keep the vocabulary a little lower. But with middle grade, you do have like the younger middle grade and you have the upper middle grade. So like if it's younger middle grade, your main character might be 9 or 10. Upper middle grade, your main character is probably 11 or 12. Also, it depends on the theme of the book. But the course itself with the 11 stages and everything that I teach, it definitely works for chapter books and middle grade, YA, adult, even memoir, depending on the format you take for memoir. If you're kind of telling it like a story rather than like non-related essays that just barely have a theme running through. If you're telling the memoir like an actual story in a timeline kind of a way, then it will work for that as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, I hope that answered your question. We are actually going to announce the winner of the free course now.
Okay,
all right. Ready?
So we got all fancy. So Glory did this. She picked while I was presenting. Okay, so I'm not going to do the close my eyes and scroll up and down method today, right? So she picked someone who is not a previous student, and there you go. All right, I'm gonna give you a drum roll. You want a drum roll?
Yes, please.
Maybe that would be. What if the 15-minute timer was all drum roll the whole time? That'd be kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
All right, here we go.
That'd be crazy. Okay, are you ready? Let me pull it up. Okay, so the winner of the free course is Lois Wickstrom. Woo!
Lois Wickstrom, yay! Oh, congratulations, Lois.
Yes,
awesome.
Congratulations. Oh, we are so glad you're able to win this free course. All you have to do is email Christy, maybe click reply to any of the emails that you received from her and say your name and that you won the free course. This is a big deal. So yeah,
I'll
we're so excited.
To you, Lois. I'll send you an email.
Okay. All right. Okay. That works. Yeah. So now that we've announced the winner, I'm gonna. You're welcome, Lois. Congrats. All right, so I'm gonna move on to some questions that we actually get, some of the common ones that we see throughout these webinars and Encores. So, one of them is, how long do I have access to the course?
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's lifetime access. I think I mentioned that, but lifetime access. So you get anytime I do updates, you will get the updated version, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer.
Another one is because I guess it was a lot of information. Sometimes people ask if you can sort of summarize again, like what is included in the course.
Right, yeah. So you get the full course, which you have lifetime access with all the updates, future updates, and you get the main course, which is the 5 modules, which is the prologue is kind of setting the stage, getting the 4 fundamentals, and making sure you have kind of an understanding of the 5 main plot points. So that's module 1. It's the easy one. Then modules 2, 3, and 4 is your beginning, middle, and ending. And that includes your worksheets and the things that will help you to go through it. So I do share lots and lots of examples. It's the examples that I help walk you through. and that will, you know, get you going for that. And then the this is off the top of my head, y'all. The epilogue, you know, is getting your schedule set up to set you up for success, to actually write it. So once you have the outline, then you're going to write it. And that's what that one is all about. So you get the full course, all future updates. You get the 3 bonuses. You get bonus number 1 is the writer inspiration kit. And that is, you know, we want to help you keep your inspiration, your motivation high all throughout. So print those out, cut them up, post them everywhere. Then the bonus number 2 is in the Facebook group. It's our private group just for us. And you get access to each other, you know, so it's a community and it's accountability. So that's very important. And the 3rd bonus is the best one of all, is the group coaching. So 6 weeks of that. And then the fast action bonus, which is today only now. I mean, it was available yesterday, but clearly now we're on today. So that expires tonight at midnight Eastern time. So it'd be 9 p.m. Pacific. And that is the 3-step submission system. So you get the query letter, the synopsis, and the book proposal, all those templates and how to write those for the next steps when you're ready. That's everything that comes with it. That's your short reminder.
Right. So it's a lot. They're getting a lot. So guys, yeah, feel free to click the link that we posted before in the comments if you're ready to purchase the course. And another common question we get is whether this course is for beginners or advanced writers.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, you saw in some of the testimonials that Sylvia was a beginner. She just barely had an idea. And Karen was more advanced. She had already written her first novel. Now she's working on her sequel. So it definitely runs the gamut. It applies to both. It applies to all levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. It applies to, I mean, it depends on how you define advanced. So like if you already have a traditionally published novel, like 2 or 3 already, you know, traditionally published, I would say no, it's not for you, because clearly you know exactly what to do and how to make it work to get published traditionally. I mean, and this works whether you're self-publishing or traditional publishing. If you are wanting to self-publish, then you really want to get this right, because if you get it wrong, your readers aren't going to come back for a second book. They're just not, because the story just won't hold up. So beginners, intermediate, advanced, if you feel like you've been writing forever and you're pretty good with writing. Hey, look at that. It's so cute. Okay, let me just, you know, click off of there. Let me get back to where I am. Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely for both. And also, again, like I said, it's good for adult, YA, middle grade, even chapter books. All the elements still have to show up.
Awesome. All right. Well, our timer's run out. We're still going to stay on for a couple of minutes if you guys have any other questions you want to ask. But yeah, I just wanted to give Christy an opportunity to give any closing thoughts, or, you know, sort of wrap up this entire amazing week that's been so much fun.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. Let's see. I mean, here are my closing thoughts. 1, thank you all for being here. I have loved every minute of hearing about your stories, your characters, your projects, all throughout the week, in the challenge, on the webinar last night, on the Encore and celebration today. And it's definitely what I love to do so much. And I welcome our new students into the course. We have, let's see, there's Rex and there's Vicky. So, and I'm trying to see. So yeah, just welcome our new students so far into the course already, and remind everyone how Plot Like a Novelist will support you in your writing, and you'll definitely get very clear on your 5 main plot points and get that needed guidance to help you include all the necessary scenes in all the right places. And I mean, the course definitely goes way beyond just the 5 main plot points. Again, it's just like 5 little scenes out of like 100, you know? And we talk about the beginning stages of how to start submitting. And, you know, once you're ready for that stage of your journey, especially if you get the fast action bonus today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'd love to help you, you know, get your story straight. Join us, you know, join us while you can get that extra sweet fast action bonus. And that's it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for the Encore. Like I said, we're going to stay on for a couple more minutes if you have any more questions left. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining and staying engaged this week. I really hope you guys got a lot out of it. And it was exciting hearing your plans earlier in the Encore for like the next steps after this challenge. So yeah, we wish all of you luck. We hope to see you in the course. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
So Glory, I see Karen's asking where's the stay on bonus. So
okay, I will
post once, but it's probably up a little.
Yeah, I will post the link again here for you. 1 second. I just have to. Okay. All right, so there's a stay-on bonus for you again. It's the Confident Writer Resource Bundle. It'll be 4 printable PDFs that you can hang on your walls, in your office, and stuff like that. So yeah, there it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off and, you know, just be expecting a few more emails from me. Don't unsubscribe or anything because I love me and I love you. And so I will return the Writers Who Run group. My sister is watching me. She's like, oh. I'm like, but anyway, yeah, she distracted my thought process. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I mentioned, like I told all about your son turning 5 today and showed Samantha's M&Ms. But all right, so yeah, that's what I was saying. The Writers Who Run group, it will return back to its normal, regularly scheduled program sometime mid to late next week. And awesome. All right. Keep writing, and I will see you guys later.
Oh,
have a good night.
really quick. Karen's also still not seeing the stay on bonus. So Karen, I will actually message you personally if that's okay with the link. Maybe there's something off in the comment settings. So yeah, I'll get that.
That different people I think are watching from different locations, and so maybe the comment thread is different that way.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but we'll email you. No worries.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Good night, guys. Bye. Have a good night.